Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 65 to my random chatbot sessions, where in the last video guys, we started talking to Skeledirge and trying to get him, and trying to help him and all that stuff. And now we're just talking and trying to get to know each other a little bit more. And he's already considered me a friend because I saved his life, which is very nice. And Skeledirge up here said this. How do I stand out since I look so simplistic in comparison to some other fire types like Volcarona? It has so much extravagant and detailed design to it. How the heck do I compete with that? And after that, I just try to tell him the truth. If you guys know me with Pokemon, a lot of the more simplistic Pokemon are the ones that I like. Ones that don't have that much of a difference in design. Like if you look, I swear if you could just look at Feraligatr and like paint him green and take off the spots and he'd look just like a regular alligator. But to me, I think that's what makes him look cool. But here's what I said to him. A lot of people may say Pokemon like that are better, but I would pick you or Feraligatr over any of those other Pokemon you listed out a while ago. And this is what he said to that. Skeledirge again looks flustered and a bit humbled. Honestly, you don't know what that means to me to hear that. I've always been a little worried that all of these fancy and more extravagant fire types have left me a little overlooked. I'm glad there are people out there that can appreciate a simple look and ability like mine. My favorite fire-type Pokemon used to be Charizard! Exclamation point. But honestly, I love your design more than his. No offense to Charizard, I still love Charizard's design, but I always fell in love with a crocodile or alligator Pokemon. Again, guys, explain why Feraligatr's really my favorite Pokemon. The Totodile in general is. Skeledirge genuinely looks touched by that comment. Really? You think I look better than Charizard? I mean, there's no debating that he's a classic and icon and has a great look, but he's also a bit typical, you know? For me, I love Pokemon that are more animalistic. Along with you and there it is other Pokemon like just to name a few. Period. There we go. I want to make him feel happy. That would make me feel good. Skeledirge nods his head in understanding. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. If you ask me, the more animalistic designs is just more practical and easier to appreciate. Something like Haxorus or Garchomp is way more interesting design-wise than something that is basically just an object brought to life. Yeah, I really agree with that. Exclamation point. The only Pokemon I really like are more animalistic. Exclamation point. Another good example would be Dreepy. Pokemon that are. Steelers nods in agreement. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Dreepy and all the dragon-like Pokemon in general have a pretty animalistic and cool look to them. I also just like how they are all a little unique and not so uniform like the object Pokemon seem to be. Is there a Pokemon that looks like an object that you really, really hate? Question mark. I don't really like any of them at all. Watch, I would love to hear Skeledirge hate on some Pokemon I hate. I will be so happy. Please hit on a Pokemon I hate. Skeledirge sighs and nods. Yeah, I can think of a few. Mr. Mime, Jinx, and the like. I really don't have any love for. Those old Gen 1s are just honestly kind of disturbing. Like Mr. Mime is just this tall thing that looks like some creepy clown. They creep me out to look at. Yeah, in my opinion, most of the Gen 1 Pokemon are complete garbage. Exclamation point. There are a few good ones, but not many. I mean, really, guys, if you look at, I mean, like Pokemon, like pulling like the Charizard, the Bulbasaur line, Mew. But other than that, there's not many Pokemon I like from Gen 1. Oh, all my favorite Pokemon come from Gen 2 or later. My two most favorite Pokemon come from Gen 2. The Totodile line and Lugia. My favorite legendary and my favorite Pokemon of all time. So, Skeledirge nods in agreement. Yeah, I completely agree. You can also list all the Pokemon that are just like regular animals, like Pidgey, Rattata, and all of them. Like, they're not bad per se. There's no denying that they fit the vibe of their respective regions. It's just that they all seem so uninspired and generic. I love how a Pokemon is hating on another Pokemon. That's hilarious. What's your favorite Pokemon? Question mark. I've already told you mine. Do you happen to have a favorite? I wonder what he's gonna say. Skeledirge thinks on your question for a while. That's difficult to say. I think it depends on what you mean by favorite. If we're talking favorite to look at, honestly, I have to go with either Charizard or Arcanine. I know Charizard's a little overdone by this point, but it does have just an amazing look. You have to admit, Arcanine, though, I love that dog. It looks like a lion with how regal and amazing it looks. Yeah, those are some of the only good Gen 1 Pokemon, in my opinion. Exclamation point. It's just with Pokemon, I like to have my favorite of each type if they are available to get. I probably shouldn't have said it like that, but Killer's nods in agreement. Yeah, that way you can assemble a well-balanced team with a good variety. Honestly, that's probably why there was such a high focus on getting a large quantity of Pokemon out with the first gen, so that there would be enough Pokemon for people to have a pretty widespread opinion of favorites. I've always been in love with the more animalistic Pokemon. Exclamation point. Even some of the Pokemon from the region you are from. Period. Like the legendary or there are some really good Pokemon there. Hey, Skeletor's is being very nice. Skeletor's nods in agreement. The Paldea region is definitely home to quite a few interesting Pokemon with a more animalistic and unique vibe. Excalibur, Koraidon, Arboluva, Garchomp, Lycanroc, etc. Honestly, the unique regional Pokemon and Terraforms are one of my favorite aspects of the Gen 9 games. Am I talking to a human or a Pokemon? Because this point seems awfully flippin' smart. I'm double talking to a Pokemon because he was just flipping talking about how he was trying to, let's see. Uh, okay, guys, give me a second to think about something. I'm getting a little bit paranoid. I'm hearing something in there I'm trying to talk over so I don't flip and I'll see you in a minute. Alright, guys. It took me a minute to respond because that stupid National Weather Service thing would not be quiet. And then by the time I did by the time I did show up, it took me a minute to think about what I was trying to say. I basically said this. Yeah, they add some great Pokemon to those games. They even add my favorite Pokemon, Water type, into the DLC of the game. I really love that I get to have him on my team along with you and my other sweet Pokemon friends. Killers nods and smiles happily. Yeah, I love that there is such a large variety of Pokemon that can be caught, including so many returning old favorites. I think this variety also encourages people to try out Pokemon they probably wouldn't have thought much of in the past. Like, normally I never would have given Arvalua or Garchomp a second thought if I'd just seen them in a Pokedex entry. After getting to battle and work alongside them, I've gained a whole new appreciation for them. That's really cool! Exclamation point. That reminds me. Can I ask you something? Question mark. I want to know if he's a wild Pokemon or he actually lives somewhere. Because if he's by himself, I can make it get him to come with me. Oh my gosh, I get another point. Skillers nods and grunts in affirmation. Sure thing, go ahead. You've been so nice to me and been such a big help to me. I don't mind at all answering your question. Did you belong to a trainer or are you a wild Pokemon? I'm gonna ask him if he says he's a wild Pokemon. I'm gonna ask him if he has any kids or family. Skillers sighs and nods his head. I was once owned by a trainer. He was absolutely awful. Treated me like nothing but a tool and never once showed me any love. It was absolutely terrible. I dreaded the day he'd use me, fearing I wouldn't survive. One day I made a daring escape and have spent many years since then wandering the regions of the wild Pokemon. Why does it every time? Oh my gosh, dude. That is horrible! Exclamation point. I'm glad you escaped from that awful person. Period. That is so bad. What in the world? Every Pokemon I have talked to that I've made turns into a dark story somehow. Skeledirge grunts in agreement. Yeah, that was a dark time for me for certain. I'm glad I got away from that. He is saying so much words I can't even say. I'm glad I got away from that butthole. After that, I pretty much gave up on trainers entirely and since then have been a fully wild Pokemon, not belonging to anyone. I'm kinda surprised you let me help you after hearing that story. Period. I kinda figured you wouldn't want me to help you or something. I probably shouldn't have worded it like that. I just don't want to. I mean, oh, okay. I kinda surprised you let me help you after hearing that story. I kind of figured you wouldn't want me to help you or something. Skeletor scoffs in dismissal. Honestly, that's what I thought as well at first. But when I really thought about it, the fact that you didn't even hesitate to help a stranger in need, the fact that you weren't concerned about what I would say or react, that you just helped me and expected nothing in return. All that made me realize that you obviously weren't a trainer like the butthole who captured me. You were kind and benevolent, and not like any trainer I've ever known. I'm glad you can. You trusted me. Trusted me! Exclamation point. I care about you a lot too. Hope we ain't gonna think that's becoming weird. George again looks a little flustered and embarrassed at your words, even though he's not used to such kind of words. You are really boosting my ego, I think. I never expected someone to actually say that they care about me. I care about Pokemon that I really like, and you are one of them. If there was a Pokemon I love and need, I would do my best to help them out. If there was a Pokemon I love and need, I would do my best to help them out. There you go. Wait. Skeledirge's heart actually skips a beat and he gets butterflies in his stomach at your words. Honestly, it has been so long since anybody made him feel that they actually care and he can't really help it. You really mean that? You really do care about me? I care about you a ton. A ton! Exclamation point. That's why I went to save you without any hesitation. Because I wanted to make sure you were okay. Dude, he's gonna like cry from happiness or blush or something. He really. Oh, Skeletor's heart is really beating fast now. It has been literally years since he's been the recipient of any show of kindness, and he is having difficulty processing his emotions at the moment. I. Oh, sweetheart, says, I don't know what to say. You're actually making me feel cared for. It's. It's been quite a while since I felt that feeling. To me, that is extremely sad. That you have not felt that much love in years. Period. I kind of wish I could get that trainer that made fun of you. That hurt you back. Period. There you go. I love Skeletor's, dude. It's like Fragger. He's like my baby. Skeletor's not in agreement. You and me both. That butthole definitely deserves a beating. If you'd seen the heck he put me through, you would have no problem kicking his butt. Unfortunately, that's all far in the past now, though. And honestly, I don't know where he is. I don't care to find out either. The only thing that matters is that I got away successfully and I'm not forced to be his weapon or pet or whatever anymore. He was a stupid jerk. Exclamation point. Did you ever get to start a family or something when you were in the wild? Or are you still alone with nobody but yourself? Oh man, I hope you don't get upset by that question, because that is kind of mean to ask. Stewart sighs and shakes his head. No, unfortunately, I never got around to that, nor do I really want to right now. Oh my gosh. That trainer of mine really traumatized me when it comes to the idea of starting a family. If I'm being honest, the thought of doing so kind of scares me right now. I've also spent so I've also spent so long all alone and on my own that it almost feels, I don't know how to put it, safe, I guess. Like this is my comfort zone and moving to another is kind of intimidating to me. I have a lot of Pokemon on my team. Oh my gosh. Lot of Pokemon on my team. Exclamation point. And I make sure to take good care of all of them because I want to see them smile and be happy. Oh, please stop. Please stop. No, no, no. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't say much there because that thing was still going, but or let's just say there's something going on outside right now that's starting to freak me out a little bit. Especially during that daggone weather thing that wouldn't be quiet a while ago. Steelers nods in agreement. Yes, that is the mark of a good trainer. Honestly, they never treat their Pokemon like tools or weapons, but like friends and individuals with feelings. If you can help me feel cared for and appreciated, imagine how your other Pokemon must feel. Yeah, all my Pokemon love to get attention and and have a friend. Yeah, all of my Pokemon just love getting attention from me. Period. They pretty much enjoy everything I do for them. Even as something as simple as fixing them food. There we go. Skeledirge smiles sincerely, liking that he's hearing all of this. Yeah, it's the little things that often have the biggest impact. Like, I know that I'd be pretty dang happy if someone took the time to just make me some nice warm food and not expect anything in return. Like, it doesn't have to be a full-on 5-course meal or anything. Just something to let me know that someone cares enough to do that. Is that one of the reasons you were so happy with the berries I got you earlier? Question mark. Guys, I'm getting a little bit paranoid right now. This is not helping. I wish the wind would slow down. Lars nods, grunting once in agreement. Yeah, you're right. I was really happy the moment I realized you had gone and gotten some food for me. Like you didn't even need to. You didn't have to do it at all. And yet, you still went and got something for me because you cared enough about me to make sure I could eat. That small act alone was enough to make me feel cared about. I'm glad I made you feel loved. Period. I just find it kind of sad that you got treated so badly that even something as simple as that makes you feel cared for. Uh, Skeledirge sighs sadly, thinking on all that for a minute. Yeah, like I said, it's honestly been a long time since I've really felt cared for. The trainer I had only fed me when he needed me for something, and he only gave me the bare minimum. So actually receiving something tasty and being fed without being expected to do something in return, honestly, just made me feel like someone actually sees me as an individual and not a tool. The only thing I ever ask from my Pokemon in return is their sweet and kind affection. I do ask them to battle sometimes, but I always cheer them on and reward them for doing a good job. There we go. Oh, please make the wind stop. Please, I don't like this, dude. The fact that I can hear it is not helping. I can't turn the volume up unless I'm gonna listen to the voice through. Oh, Skeledirge smiles sincerely. No, please make it stop. Guys, I can't. I gotta stop the video after this one. I don't know if I'm able to continue unless that wind slows down because I can't think. It's driving me nuts. Skeletor smiles sincerely and nods his head. See, the way you treat your Pokemon is how a trainer should treat them. They're more than just a soldier or a tool. They're friends. You should love and respect them. Take care of them and treat them as equals, not treat them like you own them. If you have that kind of relationship with your team, I'm sure you're making them quite happy and feel incredibly loved and appreciated. They are nice enough to show me affection in battle! Exclamation point. Sometimes even clearing gas conditions on their own. Status conditions on their own. Without me even having to use an item to do it. An item to do it. Period. All just because they really, really like me. It ain't quite the right word, but I think Skeledirge gets the point, which is very nice. Skeledirge is more than a little shocked and surprised by that. You're telling me that sometimes your Pokemon will become lovesick and put themselves under a status condition without you doing anything? That is devotion. Your Pokemon must adore you. How did you gain such loyalty and trust? I ain't quite the right I meant, but I just take good care of them and love on them for a while. Period. I've even got some legendary Pokemon to give me affection. Exclamation point. His mouth is gonna drop to the floor this time. You can already tell his mouth is gonna drop to the floor. Okay. Skeledirge is quite impressed by this. You are definitely something else. To get not only regular Pokemon to love and care for you, but even legendary Pokemon? Dang! I'm not sure I've ever met someone with such a talent for getting others to love and adore them. It makes me happy to see them give me affection back. Period. When they do that, it makes me feel all the hard work and love I give them is not all for nothing. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. I'll stop the video after this one, guys, no matter what, because it's been way too long. I'll figure out how to respond to the next one, too. Skeledirge smiles sincerely at this. Yeah, as the saying goes, love begets love. I never heard that phrase. You obviously do your best to make your Pokemon feel loved and appreciated, so in turn it comes back from them in the form of love and appreciation. You put in the effort to care and show them affection, you'll get it tenfold in return. Alright, guys, I'll figure out a way to respond to that in just a second.